quite frankly, if I had the energy, I would be so angry right now. But I don't have the energy. You see, I'm a mental health nurse and I'm exhausted. Like many of my colleagues, since the beginning of this pandemic, I have been working with limited resources and limited staff members around me, trying to maintain the mental health of the people that I work with, trying to field calls from newcomers who were worried, dealing with the newly bereaved because of COVID, and generally trying to keep a service going that's been underfunded chronically by 11 years of Tory rule in a pandemic crisis we're not prepared for and which is being mismanaged almost on a daily basis. A little over a year ago now, in May 2020, I released a video called Sage, Ignoring the Science, in which I put forward my belief that this government, whilst it didn't cause the pandemic, I'm not into those sorts of conspiracy theories, but it's very cynically and opportunistically using the pandemic to get rid of the people who it cannot profit from. Because that's the Tory way. People aren't an end in themselves. They're a means to an end. They see us, the workforce, merely as resources. And when we can't make a profit for the wealthy Tories and their wealthy donors, then they resent things like sick benefits and pensions and unemployment benefits. So, what looked like mistakes on behalf of the government were actually calculated to ensure that the people in the most vulnerable situations, which tend to be the sick, the elderly, and the unemployed because they live in cramped conditions and tend to have poorer health anyway due to poorer quality food and all that goes with it, could be culled, could be killed off. And that seems to have been what's happened. But clearly, not quickly enough. Because in just over a week's time, every bloody restriction is going to be removed by Savage Javid. Even these things, even masks are going to go. My own MP says that he won't be wearing a mask when it's not a legal obligation or when he needs it to access a service. Now bear in mind that wearing masks is not something that you do for your own protection. It's a way to protect those around you. So not to wear a mask is actually an antisocial act simply because of that. You're not being brave by not wearing a mask. You're simply being callous, undermining everything that me and my colleagues have done to try and keep people safe and well for the last 16 months. We've exhausted ourselves for nothing. We have an infection rate at the moment of 100,000 people a day. We have a new variant, the Johnson variant, because Johnson let it into the country. And we know that even double vaccination is significantly less effective with the Johnson variant than it is with anything previously known. It seems that their intention is not to save lives. I mean, Boris did famously say, let the bodies pile up, it's the economy they're interested in. But their concern over infection rates is, will the NHS cope? Because if it doesn't, then everyone will know how shit they are. This government has trampled over all of the effort that I and my colleagues have put in over the last 16 months, because Boris Johnson and Sajid Javid want to make some sort of symbolic political gesture, the price of which is likely to be thousands of lives. I could cry.